All right, as you can see, we have the Gophers here. And Bob, maybe you can just get us going, and obviously here in Boston, Frozen Four, talk a little bit about the journey here and your semifinal game tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we sure like Massachusetts, I can tell you that. So we were excited to get through the region that we did out in Worcester, and I'm still saying it wrong from what I've been told. But that was our thing, since we got placed there and the opportunity to come back to Boston. I can tell you we're one excited group and couldn't be more happy for our older guys who've been so close. The last 2 years ago we got shut down by COVID. Last year, 1 game away, and this year we punch our ticket through. So we're an excited group.
What is it? How do you say it? Worcester. Worcester. Okay, Worcester. All right, good. I thought he was pretty close, and then I'm like, did you guys learn how to say it? Worcester?
Yeah.
No? Do you know where you're at right now?
We love it there, though. So
You do. Do you know where you're at right now, physically?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Boston.
No, this building.
TD Garden.
The Garden. Come on.
Garden.
The Garden. We got to get the Garden down. All right. Thanks, Bob. Your questions for anybody? I mean, who wants to start? Jess?
Jess Meyers with the Rink Live. Sammy, you've been the captain of this team for 3 years now. You've been, I'm guessing, watching the Gophers for a long time and watching the Frozen Four. Just what's it like to be here? What's the experience like so far?
Yeah, no, it's been unbelievable. Just growing up and obviously watching the Gophers and then playing for them and seeing, her being so close to making it, and then finally seeing her to make it and be here. It's unbelievable.
All right. Any further questions? All right. Dan, right here. Con man? You got to duck down, con man. You'll be right in the shot. Those camera people will be all over you.
Dan Rubin, USCHO. Just building off of that, what's the reaction when the Gophers make the Frozen Four in the state? I know it's been, I think, 7 or 8 years since it's happened. So to be able to get to the Frozen Four, the overall reaction, just being able to walk around and have them at this level.
Yeah, I mean, our fans are awesome, and I think everyone's just super excited to have us back, and we're just ready to get going for sure.
Benny, what's the mood like?
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of excitement. We see it on campus. Just hearing about students who are making the trip out here, that was really cool to hear. Just people following us out here, and I think everybody's just excited for us. And Mariucci's had great crowds all year, which is obviously fun for us to play in. So, I think it's just a lot of excitement.
Bob, what's it been like?
they weren't real happy with us in November when we split 5 straight series, and we heard about that. Because we're not supposed to split, but we were playing awful good hockey, and the greatest thing is we had a ton of faith in this group and knew that we had a chance to become a real good hockey team. But I think by the reaction of our crowds coming down the stretch, you know, all-time record at Mariucci and the Big Ten championship game, it showed the Gopher fans were out in force, loud and proud, and I know they're awful excited.
Neil?
Neil Kemp, MSCSports.com. This is for Bob. Bob, you talked about the splitting that was going on and the frustration that you sort of had. What turned it around so you guys could actually get sweeps and finish with the run that you did?
Well, we weren't frustrated. The fans were. I can tell you. Like, you know, we had a tough schedule. You know,
Right.
We went to North Dakota, a pretty good team. You know, we beat them on Friday night, and we beat them pretty good. And then the next night was a battle.
And that's
that
like
was
the
just
Big
one
Ten,
of it.
right?
Yeah. Outside of that, then it was the same thing. I think we played Michigan the week after. We just stayed steady. I mean, that was the. We had to stay steady sometimes in that noise that was what kind of surrounds it with social media, and I don't read a lot of social media, but my wife tells me about it. But you got a feeling with your group, with your leadership, and there was never a, you know, I think I said it today. I think I kicked one trash can all year. Like, this has been a really easy group. We knew we were getting better. We knew what we were capable of doing, and you can't push a panic button in November.
Right. So you were confident all along that you could get here if things fell your way?
Yeah, a year ago, we were knocking right on the door. You know, we were in the region final a year ago with the same leadership back, and at that time, the early same goaltending. Obviously, Justin Close has been a terrific story. And we were kind of waiting for some of our young guys did need to catch up and help us offensively, because we lost a lion's share of goals last year with Ranta and Reedy and McManus, and we knew we had the returning group that was going to do what they did a year ago. But it took a bit for that to come together.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob, you mentioned that you only kicked one garbage can. How many do you average a season normally?
You can never go more than 3.
Never more than 3. All right.
I was told that a long time ago, and I stuck with it.
Mike Kemp is in the back. I see Kemper. Could you come up just for a minute? I just want to, again, put another name with a face. The NCAA Division I Men's Ice Hockey Committee runs this championship. Mike Kemp, Executive Assistant Athletic Director at Nebraska Omaha, is the chair. Kemper, you don't have to come up on. You can come right over here.
Here and say hi.
Oh, look at it. I like it.
It's really good, huh?
I like it. Yeah.
Kemper.
So Kemper will be here. If you have any questions about the tournament, he'll be at the State of College Hockey press conference on Friday too. So just wanted, again, to put a name with a face. By the way, guys, that was Neil Kemp. You asked that question. It's his 43rd Frozen Four. He's the dean of the media here. So just so you know, yeah. Good. All right, in the back. Chris.
Chris Long from KSTP TV in the cities. Ben, this is for you. I know you've got 2 more games you want to play, but my goodness, this year, Olympics, you're in the Hobie finalist, you got a chance at a national championship. Have you allowed yourself even a minute to just sort of reflect on the path you've traveled in the last year playing hockey?
Yeah, it's been a lot, but honestly, I haven't reflected too much. I've always, during this whole time, I've always been a part of a team, and that's kind of, been the focus. And maybe I'll take some time in the off season to reflect. But right now, I just, I get to spend each day with a great group of guys, and I enjoy every minute of that, and that's all I really care about right now. And we have 2 games left, and I hope for all the Minnesota fans that we can make something special happen.
Chris, speaking of the Hobie Baker, I think I see Wally back there. Wally, could you come up here too, just for a minute, just on the PR front related to the Hobie Baker Award too? Again, so you people know who to connect with. Wally Shaver right there. Wally, you don't have to come up. I just meant in the front, sorry. I mean, you and Kemper want, you can come up. But that's Wally Shaver, so anything to do with the Hobie Baker, you can connect with Wally. So thanks, Wally. Sorry, you can come up if you want.
We'll have media for everybody. There's no credentials required. I know some people have questioned about that, but everything will begin at 4:45 over at the Encore Boston Harbor Resort. So hope to see you all there on Friday.
Thanks, Wally.
Yep.
Appreciate that. All right, further questions? All right, Randy, right in front.
Randy Johnson, Minneapolis Star Tribune. This is for Bob. Bob, this is the 20th anniversary of the 2002 Gophers National Championship season. Do you continue to draw back on that and then the 03 in your coaching career?
Yes, you do, but unfortunately, the longer you draw back on the losses more than the wins, that you think teach you a lesson. Special time back there in 2002 and 3. I was pretty fortunate to jump on board at the right time, and what I do remember is what it meant to everybody, like in the Twin Cities. That was in 2002 was in St. Paul, and what an event that was. And it's been a while, and our fans are excited. But from a coaching standpoint, these guys don't remember that, that unless they hear stories from Paul Martin and myself. And it's about their experience, what we've been going through, the path we've been on, the journey we've been on. And I'll go back to a year ago when we lost, we were so close a year ago to get to the region final, and Mankato knocked us off. And, that leaves a burning hole in all of us. And you draw on that, on how it felt, what happened in that game, and maybe the thing you led up, leading up to that game. And I think that there's some things that we can draw off of that. The only thing is Mankato can draw off it too. And that's why it sets up for one heck of a battle tomorrow night.
Okay, Todd, in the back.
Todd Molesky with U.S. College Hockey Online. For Sammy and Ben, Coach talked about learning things from losses, and he's talked about that in the past. Has there been a loss this season that has been particularly enlightening for you guys in terms of drawing off of it when you make a run to get to this point, and why?
Sammy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Michigan in the Big Ten final there, because we were kind of on a run there, and then we just kind of ran into a good team. I think we needed that coming into playoffs just to get us ready, because that was a playoff hockey game, and I think that was good for us.
Ben?
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd have to say the same game. I think it was a little learning lesson for us on what, that's championship playoff hockey. You get to, if you win that game, you get to hang a banner, and I think we learned that those games are a lot harder than any other game you're going to play. So, yeah, I think that's what we learned.
Tony?
Tony Zozel, Youth Hockey Hub. Bob, I got a question about Sam Rossini, of all players. He's a kid who came back to your program.
Yeah.
And it kind of speaks to his character, speaks to the character of the squad, and talk about what he means to the team.
Well, it was a unique situation, and we kind of had it a year ago as well, when COVID was going around, and we brought Schmitty back, and I kind of bumped into Sam a couple of times, and he said, "Coach, I can come back, I still," because he was granted that 5th year, and I said, "Well, we'll think about it, Sam," and I kind of knew he wasn't kidding, and he's just a terrific, he's a terrific young man. And last year during World Juniors, we lost 3 defensemen in the World Juniors, and Sam, didn't play a lot a year ago, but he went in and did a great job for us. And then this year, there was a chance we were going to lose 2 to the Olympics, and that's why, and then with COVID still going on and injuries, I did call him, and he was sitting behind a desk. I said, "Well, I'm only going to do it if we lose 2 defensemen to the Olympics." And he said, "No, Coach, even if you lose 1, I want to do it." And I think these guys could answer better, but he comes back in the locker room and it's like, he fit right in with our guys, and he got a couple games for us and did a terrific job, and it truly is a incredible young man to have in our locker room and be around us, and he's enjoying the experience as much as any of these guys, and I think these guys would attest to it, and I love the young man. I'm really excited he's back with us. He gets to experience this. He said it beats sitting behind a desk too.
Sammy, anything to add on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that hits it on the spot. He's a great guy. He's one of my good friends. He's a guy that, he always invites everyone to his house, and but no, we were a tight group, and when he came in, it even brought us closer. So it's been nothing but good.
Good. Okay. Back there.
Adam Woden, College Hockey News. Coach, you touched on it a bit, but last year, 9 shots in the first 2 periods against Mankato. How heavy did you go on, the tape of that game with the guys versus, maybe this is a different team and you don't want to just beat that in too much?
I got 10 minutes through it, and then the 2 goals we gave up, they were just dumb mistakes on our part, and I go, I don't need to see any more of it because we're not playing like that right now. And but they can do that to you. When we got down, we got discouraged, and they can do that to you. That's why it's important tomorrow night in the first period that because we know that is an old grizzled veteran hockey team we're going to play, and they're going to play. I can already tell you can replay the tape ahead. Replay the tape of how the game's going to be. We have to be up for the fight, and we got to bring the fight in the first period to them. And it's going to go back and forth because they're going to smack us, and we got to get our smacks back to keep the game on an even playing field. And we didn't do that last year, And when we got down, we got discouraged in the game. It happens, and let's hope we learn from it.
In the back, is that your rep?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Tim Rapley from Flow Hockey. Coach Motzko, I've spoken to Hasty this year about how much he loves being part of the fraternity of 5 Division I coaches of Minnesota natives, and that was a big deal in last year's tournament.
how much bragging rights is there, and did he give you a hard time at all from last year? And you know, what's it feel like to be part of this fraternity as you're moving forward through the tournament?
Well, we are a very close group, but there were 3 Minnesota teams last year, and we weren't one of them. So of course, they were going to enjoy that with us not being there. So, because if you're going to pick on one team, they're going to pick on the Gophers. I can tell you that. But we got our shot this year, and we're back in it with them. And Sandlin was here today, and I thanked Sandy for finally letting someone else come to this darn thing. So,
It's a true story, too.
yeah. So,
Did you get a call from John Perpich by chance?
regularly.
Regularly, yeah. That was a question. Who asked a question about that? Was that you, Jess? About Perpich?
Well, because he said he was going to call both guys, because you and Hasty both played for Perfect. He said he was trying to figure out how to divide his loyalties.
Well, he's only got one loyalty.
We actually
Isn't
learned
he
that.
captain of the Gophers? I think so.
All right, in the back.
Josh Seawing, College Hockey News. Guys, this is for any of you. What leads into the third period success you guys have had over the last couple of months? It's been like 37-2. What leads into that? Is it like the gritty play you guys play with, or is it just maybe just something else?
Benny?
Yeah, you know, honestly, I don't quite know. I wasn't even aware of that stat, but you know, I think we just stick to the game plan, and you know, it doesn't matter what period it is for us, and you know, we just keep playing our brand of hockey, and it's, you know, I guess we've been fortunate enough to play better than teams down the stretch.
Some secret coaching deal there, Mats, or?
No.
Nope, all right.
If I told you, it wouldn't be a secret. So.
All right, Dan.
Dan Rubin, USCHO. Coach, and for the guys, the second half of the season and the run that you went on there, especially defensively, this game, I mean, this Frozen Four is for the top 4 scoring teams, I think, in the country. But defensively, getting Justin involved in the crease and then being able to just work into the defense and integrate him. How quickly did that happen? Number one, and number two is, you know, how did it all just kind of become a genesis real quick?
Took him 3 weeks because he went 2-2 his first 2 weeks. Then he went on a roll. So, you know, Justin, you know, he didn't play for 2.5 years, and we had, I'm telling you, all of us had tremendous faith in him. But you just can't be sitting on the bench and getting game time. But he did it, you know, and we just had to keep throwing him out there. And you could see him getting stronger as it went and gaining confidence in himself and in the players in him. And, you know, it was just a handful of things that just kept coming together. But probably none more important than it was pretty impressive numbers and pretty impressive what he's done.
Sammy, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, Justin's been outstanding for us. And I think we also just kind of learned to play the right way and not cheat the game, and that's kind of when we kind of figured out our game.
All right, Jess?
From the Rink Live. Bob, you've been through this once previously as a head coach at St. Cloud State. What, you know, it's 9 years ago, but what did you learn about preparing a team to play on this stage from that experience and translates into this year?
I don't know if I can draw back that far to say I can just tell you there's going through what this team has gone through the last 2 years to get into the tournament, you know, today, it's not an automatic anymore like it was for so many years. You know, what Michigan went 19 or 20 straight years, Minnesota used, it doesn't happen all the time now. But for what we went through the last 2 years, and I'll even say 3 years, to win an NCAA game a year ago and to get into a region final, I've already repeated that, and then to go into a really difficult Worcester. I just said it wrong again, but to go to a really difficult, I mean, that, you know, there was no question that was a heavyweight, you know, a heavyweight bracket that we got thrown into. So I'm more on that right now than looking back to 2013 and 2002 is what these guys have gone through and what we went up against in UMass and in Western Michigan, I think really helps us to going up against Mankato. Because they're two big, strong teams. And it's exactly what we're going to see tomorrow night.
Is Brian Deutsch back there, I think, somewhere? Kemper, would you just grab him? He's right in the doorway there. Ask him to come up here for a second. I always like, again, people to put a face with a name. Brian Deutsch is a hockey SAD at Minnesota, so if you don't know Brian, now you do. Okay, he looks awfully grumpy right now. We're at the Frozen Four, for heaven's sakes. All right, Deutscher, sorry. I mean, people got to know who you are. All right, let's keep going here. Josephina, yep, right in front here.
Josephina Shaw, College Hockey News. Bob, so speaking of Justin, I know that you guys needed a volunteer goalie coach, and you reached out to Mike Hastings to see if you could talk with Brennan before he came over. So I'm just curious about, like, that seems like a very uniquely college hockey thing to me, that you guys would have that conversation before you went and, like, talked to him. So I'm just wondering, like, what kind of went into that and the relationship that you two have.
That wouldn't be unique, because, I mean, any of us in the coaching world, we are going to reach out to other coaches if, you know, you see guys switching jobs and changing schools. I did it many times. You know, and Brendan, he was, you know, commuting for 7 years and just had had a second young, just a baby, brand new baby at the time. And it was actually a way to keep him a little closer to home. You know, they're volunteer, they don't get paid. So also saved on his gas bill driving back and forth. And we're very fortunate. You know, he had great experience, he had a great job there, and he's terrific with our goaltending. So we're really happy with that. But we're a pretty close-knit group. We're always going to talk to each other, except when it comes to recruiting.
Guys, any Boston connection at all? Have you been here, played here over the years, or no? First time? Yep. Got it. All right. How are we doing? Okay, right, sorry.
With Hannah Hill Hockey, I was just wondering, how do you guys control your emotions going into a game like tomorrow?
Manny?
Yeah, you know, I think you get a lot of experience doing that throughout the year. You know, we play a lot of big games for, you know, regular season titles and then for Big Ten playoff titles. So, you know, I think you got to draw back on those experiences and, you know, rely on what gave you success in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge game, but I mean, we've been playing hockey our whole lives, and, you know, kind of once you get a couple shifts in, it's just another game, so, yeah.
Okay, in the back there, Todd.
Todd Molesky with U.S. College Hockey Online. Ben and Sammy, Bob opened the door for this earlier, talking about how he's not on social media a lot. What social media platform would Bob be best at and why?
Oh, who wants to start with that one?
I don't know.
I mean, I would love to see him on TikTok, but no, I don't know. Instagram, I don't know.
Yeah, I could see him having some funny tweets. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Coach, have you been on TikTok?
I have no idea what TikTok is.
How about Twitter?
I tweet a couple times a year.
Is that you yourself tweeting?
Yeah.
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 Will there be a tweet from Boston? Can we expect something?
Well, my hotel, I almost did it the other day because I walked in and they have a display of David Ortiz. So if you know, I'm a big-time Twins fan, and how to throw that in my face. Because we gave him away for free. Think of that.
Yeah, that was not good.
He was a Twin.
So, but you didn't
Us
tweet it.
Minnesotans get that right now.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right, do we have anything else? Going once, twice? All right, guys, thanks so much. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.